He sits again. You sit again. The morning passes. Neither of you works. Neither of you speaks. You just sit, being present, being patient, being slow. After a long time, he speaks again. You have learned much here, he says. You have seen the work. You have felt the rhythm. You have begun to understand. But the most important thing, the thing that takes longest to learn, is this. He pauses, choosing his words. The feather work is not the goal. The pattern is not the goal. The work is not the goal. The goal is the being, the presence, the life that is lived while the work is done. The feather work is just what remains, what is left behind when the living is finished. You think about this. It settles into you, like glue settling into feathers, like patterns settling into beauty. The goal is not the feather work. The goal is the life, the moments, the presence. He rises. He goes to the courtyard. You follow him out. The fountain falls. The water dances. The sun is warm. The light is soft. He sits on the edge of the fountain. You sit beside him. He looks at the water, the way it falls, the way it moves, the way it is always the same, always different. The water, he says, is never in a hurry. It falls at its own speed. It flows at its own pace. It does not try to reach the basin more quickly. It just falls, just flows, just is. This is the way. This is the wisdom. This is what the water teaches. You watch the water, and you understand. The water does not rush, does not hurry, does not worry about where it is going. It just falls, trusting that it will reach the basin, trusting that the journey is the point, trusting that the falling is enough. You sit for a long time, watching the water, feeling the peace, being present. After a long time, Amentekatl rises. Come, he says, let us walk. You follow him out, through the courtyard, into the city. You walk slowly, presently, noticing everything. The way light falls on a stone, the way a shadow moves across a wall, the way a woman pats tortillas, the same motion, again and again, patient, present, the way a fisherman mends his net, knot by knot, hole by hole, patient, present, the way a child plays with a toy, completely absorbed, in the moment, patient, present. Everything is slow. Everything is present. Everything is enough. You come to the great temple. You climb its steps, slowly, step by step, present. At the top you stop. You look out over the city. The lake spreads below you, blue and vast, dotted with canoes, with floating gardens, with life. The mountains rise in the distance, green and blue, where the quetzals live, where the feathers come from. The city lies at your feet, its streets and canals, its houses and markets, its thousands of lives. Amentekatl speaks, his voice quiet, almost a whisper. Up here, he says, You can see it all. The city, the lake, the mountains, the lives, and you can see how slowly it all moves, how patiently it all unfolds, generation after generation. The same work, the same prayers, the same feather works, and yet always new, always different, always alive, because each person, each maker, each feather worker brings their own presence, their own patience, their own life. You stand for a long time, looking, feeling, being. The sun moves across the sky. The shadows shift. The light changes. Slowly, patiently, perfectly. After a long time, Amenteketl turns. Come, he says. The day is passing. You walk back, slowly, presently, down the temple steps, through the streets, past the market, past the fountain, to the workshop. The room welcomes you back. The feathers on their shelves, the work on its frame, the fire in the hearth, the lamp in its bowl. You sit on your mat. Amenteketl sits at his bench, but he does not work. He just sits, being present, being patient, being. You sit with him, and you feel it, the deep peace of slowness, the profound rightness of patience, the wisdom of taking time. The afternoon passes. The evening comes. The light fades. He rises. He goes to the hearth. He prepares food. Simple food. Tortillas and beans. Chilies and fruit. You eat together. Slowly. Each bite present. Each moment enough. When the food is finished, he sits by the fountain. You sit beside him. The fountain falls. The water dances. The stars appear, one by one. After a long time, he speaks, his voice soft, slow, like the water. You have learned, he says, the most important thing, the thing that takes longest to learn. You have learned to be slow, to be patient, to be present. This will stay with you long after you leave this workshop, long after you leave this city, long after I am gone. It will be with you in everything you do, in every feather you see, in every pattern you notice, in every moment you live. For slowness is not just for making feather works. Slowness is for living, for being, for becoming. He falls silent, staring into the water. You stare too, feeling his words, feeling the truth of them, feeling the peace of them. After a long time, he rises. He goes inside. You stay a moment longer. The fountain, the stars, the peace of slowness. Then you follow. The lamp burns in its bowl, its flame small and steady, patient, present, eternal. You go to your mat. You lie down. The feather blanket covers you. It smells of the day, of the temple, of the fountain, of the slowness. Through the dim light, you see the work on its frame, waiting, patient, holding its beauty, holding its story, holding its centuries to come. Nasralla's voice returns. soft as the fountain, slow as the years. You have learned the great lesson, he says, the wisdom of slowness, the peace of patience, the presence of now. This is the gift of the feather worker, the gift of the work, the gift of the life lived slowly. Now rest, rest in the slowness, rest in the patience, rest in the presence. Your breath slows, your heart slows, your thoughts slow. You are becoming the slowness itself, becoming the patience itself, becoming the presence itself. The fountain falls slowly outside. The stars turn slowly above. The city sleeps slowly around you. And you sleep, slowly, deeply, completely, held by the slowness, carried by the patience, blessed by the presence. Breathe in slowly, breathe out slowly. Let each breath take the time it needs. Sleep slowly, wake slowly, live slowly, for slowness is not the absence of speed. It is the presence of life, fully lived, fully felt, fully loved. Nasrallah watches over you, his voice the slow rhythm of the night, the patient pulse of darkness, the gentle return of sleep. Sleep now, sleep slowly, sleep deeply, into the quiet, into the peace, into the philosophy of slowness. Sleep, sleep, sleep asterisk asterisk, chapter VII, weather/environment. Close your eyes now. Let the sounds of the world outside enter you. Nasrallah is here, his voice soft as rain on the thatched roof, gentle as wind through the reeds at the lake's edge. He has carried you through the slowness, through the reflections, and now into the weather itself, into the environment that shapes the feathers, that tests the maker, that teaches patience in its own way. You wake to sound, not the sound of tweezers, not the sound of the fountain, but the sound of water, not from the fountain, but from the sky. Rain, it falls on the roof above you. A soft sound, a steady sound, a sound that has fallen on this roof for centuries, on this city for millennia, on this lake since before memory. You lie still and listen. The rain is gentle, not a storm, not a flood, just rain, the kind that falls for hours, for days, soaking the earth, filling the lake, making the feathers damp, making the air heavy, making the maker's work more difficult, more delicate, more demanding. Through the doorway, you see the workroom. The light is gray, soft, diffused. You rise. You go to the small window. Outside, the world is gray. Sky and lake and city all the same color. Soft and wet and patient. Rain falls straight down, each drop visible for a moment, then gone into the ground, into the canal, into the lake, into the waiting world. You go to the workroom. Amentekatl is there, but he is not working. He is standing at the door, looking out at the courtyard, his hands clasped behind his back, his posture still. He turns as you enter, nods, gestures for you to come beside him. You stand at the door. You look out together. The rain falls on the fountain, each drop adding to the water, making the fountain fuller, making its sound richer. It falls on the garden, soaking the plants, making the colors deeper, the greens greener, the flowers brighter. It falls on the thatched roof of the workshop, each drop finding its way through the straw to the ground beyond. Amenteketl speaks, his voice quiet, fitting the rain. Listen, he says. You listen. The rain falls on the roof, on the courtyard, on the garden, on the city beyond, on the lake beyond that. Each surface different, each sound different, all together making one sound, the sound of rain. After a long time, he speaks again. The weather, he says, is the feather worker's companion and the feather worker's challenge. Too dry, and the feathers become brittle. Too damp, and they will not lie flat. Too humid, and the glue will not set. Too windy, and the feathers blow away. We must work with the weather, around the weather, despite the weather. He turns from the door. He goes to his bench. Today, he says, we will do what can be done, the work that weather cannot touch. He takes up a piece, already partly done, but needing something. Inspection, perhaps. Planning. Design. You sit on your mat. You watch. He examines the work closely, looking at each feather, each placement, each color. He speaks as he looks, his voice quiet, thoughtful. The rain, he says, is a gift, though it seems like a difficulty. It fills the lake, waters the fields, gives drink to the animals, makes the plants grow. Without rain, there would be no life, no birds, no feathers, no work. The rain is the blessing of Tilalok, falling on the just and the unjust, on the maker and the merchant, on the feather and the earth. You watch him work, and you listen to the rain. The two sounds together, the quiet voice of the maker, the steady fall of the sky. After a long time, he sets the piece aside. He looks at you. Come, he says. Let us go out. You are surprised, but you take your cloak. You follow him. Outside, the rain meets you, cool and soft. It touches your face, runs down your cheeks, soaks into your cloak. You walk through the wet courtyard, past the fountain, its water dancing with the rain, past the garden, the plants bending under the weight of water, out through the gate, into the city. The streets are different in the rain, quieter, emptier, more intimate. Water runs in the drainage channels, small streams carrying leaves and bits of straw, toward the lake, toward the great water. People hurry past, covered with cloaks, with pieces of cloth, with whatever they could find to keep dry. But some, like Amenteketl, walk slowly, not hurrying, accepting the rain, being with it. You pass the market. It is nearly empty. Most stalls are covered. The sellers huddle beneath, their goods protected, their faces patient. You pass the great temple, its stones dark with wet. water streaming down its steps. Like tears, like blessings, you pass the canal. It is higher than before, faster, browner, full of the rain, full of the city, full of the land. Amentekatl stops at the edge. He looks at the water. The canal, he says, is always giving, always flowing, always carrying. But today it receives. The sky gives to it, as it gives to the lake, as it gives to all. The rain is the canal of the sky, pouring down its blessing, filling the earth, filling the lake, filling the hearts of those who receive it. You stand in the rain, looking at the canal, feeling the drops on your face, feeling the gift. You walk on, past the edge of the city, to the lake shore. The lake stretches before you, vast and gray, its surface alive with rain. Millions of drops, each one disappearing, each one becoming part of the whole. The floating gardens in the distance are dark with wet, the crops bending, the flowers closing. Birds huddle on the reeds, their feathers wet, their heads tucked, patient, waiting. Amentekatl stops at the water's edge. He looks out over the lake. The lake, he says, receives all. The rain from the sky, the water from the mountains, the runoff from the city. It gives back water for drinking, water for farming, fish for eating, reeds for weaving. The lake is the great receiver, the great giver, like the feather worker who receives feathers and gives back beauty. You look at the lake and you see it differently. Not just water, but receiver, giver, life. You walk on, along the shore, the rain still falling, the lake beside you. You come to a place where birds nest. In the reeds, egrets and herons, cormorants and grebes. They sit on their nests, feathers fluffed against the wet, eyes patient, waiting for the rain to stop. Amentekatl stops. He watches them. Even the birds, he says, must wait out the rain, must be patient, must trust that the sun will return. They do not fight the weather. They accept it. They wait. They endure. This is what the rain teaches. Acceptance, patience, trust. You watch the birds, and you understand. They know something humans often forget, that the weather is not an enemy. It is simply what is, and we must be with it. As it is, you turn back. The walk is long. The rain continues. Your cloak is heavy. Your feet are wet, but you do not mind. You are with the rain, part of it, accepting it. You return to the workshop, soaked through, your cloak heavy, your feet cold. Amentekatl builds up the fire. You stand before it, steaming, warming. He brings cloths. You dry your face, your hands, your hair. You sit by the fire, wrapped in dry blankets, watching the flames. The rain continues. It will continue all day, all night perhaps. Amentekatl speaks, his voice quiet, thoughtful, The rain, he says, teaches us something important. It teaches us that we are not in control, that the weather does what it will, that we must adapt, must wait, must be patient. You cannot rush the rain away. You cannot wish it gone. You must simply be with it, work with it, around it, through it. This is like the work, like the making, like the life. There are days when everything goes well, days when the feathers are perfect. The glue sets quickly, the patterns flow, and there are days when nothing goes right, when the feathers will not lie flat, the glue will not set, the patterns will not come, and on those days, you must be like the rain, patient, persistent, giving. You must simply continue, must do what can be done, must wait for the weather to change. He falls silent, staring into the fire. You stare too, feeling the truth of his words, feeling the rain outside, the warmth inside, the patience between. The afternoon passes. The rain continues. The fire crackles. The light never changes. Gray and soft, always the same. You doze by the fire, wrapped in the blanket, warm, safe, held. When you wake, the room is darker. The fire is lower. Amentekatl is at the door, looking out. The rain has stopped, he says. You rise. You go to the door. The sky is clearing. Patches of blue. The last clouds moving away. The air fresh, clean, new. Come, he says. You go outside. The world is transformed. Everything washed. Everything shining. Drops on every surface, catching the last light. The sun is setting, breaking through the clouds. Golden light, long shadows. The wet stones gleam. You walk through the courtyard. The fountain is full, overflowing, its water sparkling. The garden is fresh, each leaf holding drops, each flower brighter, each plant standing taller. You go out into the city. People are coming out, opening doors, stepping into the streets, smiling, talking. The rain is over. The world is fresh. You go to the lake shore. The lake is calm now. The rain has stopped. The surface is smooth, reflecting the clearing sky. The birds are flying again. Egrets and herons, wings spread, catching the last light. The floating gardens are green and bright. The crops standing tall, washed clean, alive. Amentekatl stands at the water's edge, looking out. The rain has done its work, he says. Cleaned the air, cleaned the city, cleaned the lake, cleaned the world. Tomorrow the work will continue. The feathers will be placed. The patterns will grow. The beauty will emerge. But tonight there is this. The clean world, the clear sky, the peace after rain. You stand for a long time, watching the light fade, watching the stars appear, one by one. You think of the rain, how it seemed endless, how it confined you, how it taught you patience. And now it has given you this clean world, this clear sky, this peace. You understand. The rain was not an enemy. It was a teacher, a giver, a friend. You walk back through the clean city to the workshop. The room welcomes you. The fire still glows. The lamp burns. The feathers wait. You go to your mat. You lie down. The feather blanket covers you. It smells of the rain, of the fire, of the clean world. Amentekatl sits at his bench, not working, just sitting, being present, being grateful. Nasralla's voice returns, soft as the clean air, gentle as the cleared sky. You have been through the weather, he says. You have felt the rain. You have learned its lessons. You have seen the world made new. Now rest. Rest in the clean world. Rest in the cleared sky. Rest in the peace after rain. The weather will come again. The rain will return. The wind will blow. The seasons will turn. But tonight there is only this. Only the clean stillness. Only the clear stars. Only the deep peace. Breathe in the clean air. Breathe in the smell of wet earth. Breathe in the freshness of the world made new. Breathe out the rain. Breathe out the waiting. Breathe out the patience learned. And sleep. The stars turn overhead. The clean night holds you. The workshop shelters you. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep in the peace after rain. With the maker. With the feathers. With the clean world. Nasrallah watches over you. His voice the last thing you hear. Before sleep takes you. Sleep. Sleep. Sleep ***, chapter IX. Deepening calm / nearing sleep. Close your eyes now. Let the deep quiet of the feather workshop wrap around you. Nasrallah is here, his voice soft as the last light fading over the lake, gentle as the thoughts that come when sleep is near. He has carried you through the weather, through the rain and the clearing, and now into the deepest calm, the place where sleep begins, where the world grows soft and distant, where you are held and carried and released. You wake and do not know you have woken. The line between sleep and waking is thin here, like a single feather floating, like the edge of a pattern, like the moment between one breath and the next. You lie on your mat, the feather blanket around you, the lamp burning in its clay bowl, its flame smaller now, or perhaps your eyes are more open to its smallness. Through the doorway, you see the workroom, the tools on their rack, the feathers on their shelves, the bench where Amentekatl sits. But he is not there. The room is empty, quiet, waiting. You rise, but your body moves slowly, as if through water, as if through honey, as if through the thickness of deep calm. You go to the workroom. Amentekatl is not there, but the room feels different, not empty of him, but full of his presence, full of the years he has spent here, full of the feather works he has made, full of the beauty he has created. You touch his bench. The wood is smooth, worn by his arms, by his hands, by his presence. You touch the tools, each one cool, each one waiting, each one holding the memory of his grip. You touch the feathers on their shelves, green and blue, red and yellow, each pile a color, each color a story, each story part of his life. You are alone with them, alone with the work, alone with the calm. You go to the courtyard. The fountain falls. The water dances, but softly now, as if it too is calming, as if it too is nearing sleep. Amentekatl is there, sitting by the fountain, his eyes closed, his hands still, his breath slow. He is not asleep, not quite, but somewhere else, somewhere between, the place of deep calm, the place of nearing sleep. You sit beside him. You do not speak. You just sit, being present, being quiet, being calm. The fountain falls. The water dances. The stars appear, one by one. After a long time, he opens his eyes. He looks at you. He smiles, just a little, just with his eyes. You are here, he says. You are still here. You nod. He looks at the fountain, his voice quiet, slow, like the water. I was thinking, he says, thinking of all the years, all the feather works, all the days. They pass so quickly and so slowly. At the same time, it seems like yesterday. I was an apprentice, sitting where you sit, watching my teacher, learning the work. And now I am the teacher, and you are the apprentice. And the years have passed, like water, like feathers, like breath. He falls silent, staring into the fountain. You stare too, feeling the weight of his words, feeling the years, feeling the calm. After a long time, he speaks again. You have learned much, he says. You have seen the work. You have felt the rhythm. You have understood the slowness. You have been through the weather. Now there is only one thing left, only one thing to learn. He pauses, choosing his words. The last thing, the deepest thing, is to let go of the work, to let go of the learning, to let go of the wanting, to let go of everything, and simply be, to rest, truly rest, in the calm, in the peace, in the sleep. He looks at you, his eyes deep, full of years, full of wisdom. This is what the work is for, he says. All the years, all the feather works, all the patience, all the slowness, they are not for the feather works. They are for this, for the sea,